Hey everyone, welcome to Encore. This is Corin, and today I'm going to teach you how you can press mineralized powders.
B la ba ba da bee sabadoo loo doo boo sabadoo la doodly doodla diddly la la baby shoobadoop shabadoop shoobadoop dap da dap dee da shoobadoop shabadoop shoobadoop dap da dap dee da shoobadoop shabadoop shoobadoop dap da dap dee da do what she do.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So make sure to watch the materials and prep video before you proceed. So let's put about a half teaspoonful of mineralized powder right into our mixing jar. And then we're going to use our mixture in a spray bottle. And it's best if you hold the bottle above the mixing jar about 6 to 8 inches. And then add or start with about 3 to 4 sprays. Okay, and then using the stirrer you chose, we're going to stir the powder so that way the liquids evenly gets distributed into the powders. Now we want a wet, sandy clay consistency on this. Alright, so it's unlike pressing regular pigments that we want that cake icing consistency. And this one we want that wet, sandy clay consistency. Now do not put too much liquid on this. If you happen to over soak it, then you have to start all over again. Alright, so we're going to add about 3 to 4 more sprays of the mixture, and then we're going to continually mix this until we achieve the consistency that we wanted. So just keep doing that until you get that wet sandy clay consistency. Alright, and then finally takes about one more, so I'm spraying about 3 to 4 more sprays on this. And then again, just keep mixing. Alright, now as you can see, the powder's actually kind of like peeling off the side of the jar, just like that. That's what you wanted. You want the powders to cluster together and clump together, much like clay. Alright, so just keep mixing it so that it emulsifies just like that. So it's looking beautifully, actually it's looking perfect. So this is what we wanted. Alright, and probably just a couple more sprays just to make sure. Again, do not over wet the powder. You don't want it to be like a runny mud. You just want a nice thick wet clay. Alright, that looks perfect. It's coming off the side of the jar, and if you pick it up with your mixing tool, it should stick to it. And it shouldn't drip or anything like that. So this is great consistency. It's perfect. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the product, and we're going to put that right into our tin pan. Okay, so this is the first batch. So we're going to make a second batch later. And we're just going to repeat the same exact process for that. And the best way to press mineralize is to do them in 2 batches. So this is the first batch, which is going to cover half of the pan. So just try to get as much of the mixture right into the bottom of the pan, and then just distribute that evenly right into the bottom, just like so. And just make sure it's nice and flat. Okay, just like that, and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes to dry a little. Okay, it's about 10 minutes. And you just want to touch it and see if it's firm. And what you want to check for is that the clay doesn't stick to your fingers. So it's nice and clean. Alright, so that's going to be ready for pressing. Okay, I'm going to use my jersey cotton material. This is just a plain fabric. And then I'm going to use a quarter and place that on top. And I'm just going to use my thumb to press this in. Alright, just a low pressure, not too much. Just like so. Just make sure to put pressure evenly right on to the perimeter of the quarter. Alright, and then just gently peel the fabric off. Just like so. And now you got a nice press to the first layer of your pressed mineralized powder. How exciting is that? Alright, and then as you notice in my fabric, you'll see a wet spot, and you want that because that's moist. That's the moisture that came from the mineralized powder. Okay, so next repeat the same exact everything for the second layer, and then fill the pan to the top. Alright, so I mixed another batch right here. I'm just going to show you how you can put this right into the pan. So you basically just scoop everything out, and much like the first layer, just add that onto the top of the bottom layer, and then again just evenly distribute that throughout the pan. Okay, you just want to fill this right on the top of the pan, so you don't want it really overflowing because it's going to be harder to press if it does. Alright, so once it sits for about 15 minutes, just check it again and make sure it doesn't stick to your finger. And now we're going to do our hatch marking, and I'm going to use this piece of ribbon that I cut about 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe. And I'm just going to place that right on top of the pan, just like so, and then I'm going to take our quarter, place that on top, just like so. Alright, and then once again you can use your thumb to press this, or for this video I'm going to use my coffee tamper. Alright, I'm just going to press this on the top, and then put pressure right on the top so that way the pressure is even throughout the whole perimeter of the quarter. So remove that, and then remove the quarter, peel off the hatch mark ribbon, and there you have it. So now it's got a beautiful hatch mark in it. Okay, next, just let that sit until it dries a little bit, so it looks like this. It's got a beautiful hatch mark to it, and it's lighter in color, so you can tell it's drying a little bit. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to turn off our preheated oven, so turn that off. Alright, now place the metal pan right into a cooling rack, just like this, and then place that inside the oven that's already been turned off, and just leave it in there until the oven completely cools to room temperature. Okay, and just kind of like make sure that it's not really hot, that it's going to really bake it. It's just really like warm. Okay, now take it out of the oven and let it cool and dry further for another 8 to 10 hours. And this is what it looks like when it's done. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Ba 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 ba.